Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Flash. This is Gaming with Flash, and thank you again for coming back. Check out one of my videos. If you could do me a big favor, I'd appreciate it if you could like, and if you enjoy this content, subscribe and come on back and tell some people. I'd very much appreciate it. As you know, as you're all well aware of at this point, it goes a long way. So I'm still coming down off of being sick last week, or the better part of last week, and having the flu, and it wasn't fun at all. But I did manage to get a video out, and thank you again. Shout out to the homie Prashawn for shouting me out and getting that out there again. Excuse me. So what I want to talk about in this video, I don't have any gameplay in this video, but I want to touch on Nico Minoru, the new card coming to Marvel Snap this week. At time of recording, it'll be tomorrow afternoon. So there has been a lot of talk around this card. Now she's going to be in the Spotlight Cache this week with Kitty Pryde and Phoenix Force. If you don't have Kitty Pryde for whatever reason, if you're brand fresh new to the game within the last month or so, this probably might be a good cache to get. Kitty Pryde is arguably the best one drop in the game, and I'm not sure there are many people that would argue against that case, but Phoenix Force, it's not great. Excuse me. Got my tea there. Phoenix Force is, it's fine for what it does. It's not a game that broke the meta or anything like that. It's a fine card to have. I wouldn't spend Spotlight Caches if your main goal is to, I want Phoenix Force. Maybe not. So I just want to, before I take a deep dive into Nico here, I want to touch on the conversation. So some people, at first, it was just kind of like trashing this card, and then there was this wave of kind of hype pushing it, and then there was some people kind of pushing that hype back down, saying, oh, she's gonna be okay, she's gonna be not, the RNG. Look, how many cards are good in Marvel Snap right now that we're just relying on the RNG of things, right? You're relying on the RNG for hella, not to screw you. You rely on the RNG of a lot of different things. When you throw something in the lockjaw, you're just hoping it doesn't cycle out something that you don't want, right? Or cycle in something you don't want. You know what I mean. Anyway, I personally, and from the very moment I saw this card and what it could do, I think Nico is going to be very good. Now, how many of us, and I'm not saying myself was included in this, but how many of us trashed Legion before that card came out? Absolutely took it through the ringer. Oh, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be like Snow Guard. Location control is terrible, etc., etc. Mainly because of what we had seen with Snow Guard before, the card got changed. Now, I'm not saying Nico is going to be good as Legion or anything like that. I'm not advocating for that. However, I think this card is going to be a lot better than some people are claiming it to be. So let's get into some Nico here. So if you don't know by now, on reveal, after you play your next card, cast a spell. Okay, the spell changes each turn. All right, we know that. If you don't know what the spells are, I'll do a quick rundown. First one, on reveal, they're all on reveal, so I'm not going to keep saying on reveal. After you play your next card, it becomes a demon. Next spell, after you play your next card, destroy it and draw 2 cards. After you play your next card, move it 1 location to the right. After you play your next card, give it +2 power. After you play your next card, replace that card's location, so Scarlet Witch. After you play your next card, add a copy of it to your hand. After you play your next card, double this card's power. This card meaning Nico, right? Or at least that's what everybody says. That's what the understanding is. I think there's been confirmation that applies to Nico, making her, if she just remains at her base 1-2, she'll be a 1-4. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that this is all random. the first spell that pops up when you have her in hand, it'll be random. Okay, now when I say in hand, this also applies to her being in deck, because that's been confirmed as well. So whether she's in your hand or whether she's in your deck, she's cycling through the spells. Also, the most important part of this to keep in mind is that it's not going to cycle through the same spell in one game. So once, like, let's say the first spell you saw let's say you have her in hand, and the first thing you see is, after you play your next card, destroy it and draw 2 cards. You are not going to see that spell again for the rest of the game if you let it cycle to the next turn. If you go to the next turn and it changes to, after you play your next card, give it +2 power, that's it. You're not going to see the destroy it and get 2 cards anymore. That's a wrap for that. It's just going to keep cycling to the next one till you play it, and then once you play it, then that's the spell that's going to be active for said next card that's played after Nico. Okay, so all very important things to keep in mind on how the card functions. Yes, it's random. Yes, there's some RNG involved. However, there's a bit of like some of that taken out. Now, granted, yes, there's the extra RNG where if she was sitting in your deck and she comes into your hand on turn 3, you have no idea what the first 2 spells were that cycled through that you won't see. That is probably the most problematic part of the card. And I think if this card kind of flops a little bit, that's the part of it that they might need to change. Because if maybe you draw on turn 4, right? You have no clue what the first 3 spells are that cycled through, and you might wait another turn or 2 hoping to get the one you need that could maybe win you the game or activate this big combo that you're trying to do. That could be a little problematic. So we'll see going forward how all of that works and if that will be addressed in the future. But I foresee that being the biggest problem, quite frankly, with this card. Because you kind of just want to know, right? Oh, let's look at these sick variants. To be fair, all cards have really good variants, and Nico is we got the Runaways variant over here. I read the graphic novels and I watched the show. Big fan of that stuff. Like the Sister Grimm. That's a good Nico right there. They're all good. They're all good. Okay, to be fair, they're all good for their different reasons. Spotlight Cash there. So here's why I think this card could be good. She's a 1-drop. Is it random? Are you relying on hopefully the game doesn't screw you and your spell that you need didn't cycle through before you pulled her? Yeah, you are relying on that a little bit. However, if you take that part out of it, all the spells here are pretty universal, right? After you play your next card, destroy it and draw 2 cards. That's arguably the best spell on her, right? Because drawing in a game where there's 6 turns by base design and at 12 card decks, drawing 2 cards off of a 1-cost card. Oh man. And how many things do you have in your deck? Everybody has at least 1 or 2 cards in their deck that they don't mind if it gets destroyed. And that's in a non-destroy deck. So if you're playing a destroy deck, hello. And I've made it very clear, I'm a big fan of destroy. It's one of my favorite archetypes in the game. After you play your next card, it becomes a demon. Sure, I don't mind if, like, again, late turn in the game, I have that spell flips up and I'm like, I wasn't able to do anything with this Deadpool or this Nova. I don't really play Nova a lot in my destroy decks. Sue me. But there's a card that you're like, I'd rather flip this into a demon. I'd rather turn into a 6-power card, right? Who knows? Maybe you got elite Bucky Barnes and you can't destroy it. All right, well, put it down and now it becomes a 1/6 demon. That's really good. There are a lot of decks that could utilize that. Okay, but again, even the spell that, okay, now doubling Nico's power, that's not a big deal. You don't really care for that for the most part, but sometimes an extra 2 power can how many games of Marble Snap have been decided by 1 power? So to call even that spell insignificant, a 1/4 is good. I don't know the last time you checked, but a card that gives you 1/4 stat line is really good with no negative. Okay, you know, Titania is a 1/5, and she might flip to the other side and lose you the game if you don't play it. If you don't, you know, handle that card properly. You know, Scarlet Witch effect. Give the next card you play +2. That could be really good if you're doing something with Shuri or Forge. Or again, just +2 power is enough to maybe win. You can +2 an Iron Man. I don't, and first of all, after you play your next card, add a copy of it to your hand. As if we're not having enough problems with Elsa as it is. So everybody that's already running rampant with these Elsa decks that's terrorizing everybody, get ready for it to get worse, because they're about to get a 1-cost card that can get them another Elsa. So there's that. I mean, now granted, it's not a guarantee. It's not going to happen every single game because you got to deal with the randomness and the cycling through. But, and one of the other spells that's arguably, by most people's design, the worst thing on here is after you play your next card, move it 1 location to the right. How many months did we pine over, oh, let us move cards to the right, let us move cards to the right, Iron Fist moves to the left, Heimdall moves to the left, everything moves to the left, let us move cards to the right. People were crying about it for months. And now we get an ability on a 1-cost card that does it, and everybody's poo-pooing it. Yes, okay, Ghost Spider is a thing, but guess what? You can't Ghost Spider into a Sanctum Sanctorum. Nico can get you into Sanctum Sanctorum if it's on the right side. She can get you into Death's Domain if it's on the right side. Hello? What am I missing here? What am I missing here that everybody see, that not everybody, but a large percentage of people are saying, this card's it's gonna be pretty trash, or this ability's trash, or this spell is trash. I look at these 7 spells and I'm like, there isn't a game that I'm like, I don't have use for any one of those 7 spells. Real talk. Because I'm like, we know how strong a Scarlet Witch ability is, right? You know how strong it is to add power to cards, drawing cards, having a 6 power card for 1 cost. Copying cards, my God. Like, people pine to get cloning vats out. And now you get cloning vats out. In Destroy deck, you get a Venom and then you get another Venom. Not only that, but you're copying the bigger Venom. At least I think that's how it should work. That's usually how the copying stuff works. You get the copy after it gets its buff, or whatever its on reveal effect is. I think this card is going to be good. I will be opening spotlight caches for this card. I have Kitty and I have Phoenix Force. Will I be sad if I hit the Phoenix Force? Yeah, because I already got a couple good variants for that card. So I'm like, Kitty, that's a sweet variant. The Kitty variant is sweet. Yeah, I'm sure it's here on this page here. Where is it? Let's scroll right past it. Yeah, the Kim Jacinto Kitty Pride is sweet. So sweet. Kim Jacinto variants are goated. So let's just make that very clear. Now, if you don't get Nico on this spotlight cache, the next one she's in, as we see here on the screen, is in the December 19th, 26 week with Legion and Havoc. Legion, very good card. Very good card in Marvel Snap. Havoc, we don't know. And that's the week that Havoc comes out. Havoc at the moment, everybody says is trash. Again, I don't know. there's ways to play into not using your max energy every turn. Like, there's a lot of decks where you could build around using one less power every turn and have it getting +3 every turn. Yeah, you have to toss this man behind an armor or Cosmo, because you would be so sad to be losing max energy every turn and have this thing get Chang-Chi'd or Shadow King, and then your whole game, you're so sad. But that's another conversation for another video down the line. I think Nico's gonna be good. If you're kind of limited on, I'm only missing 7 cards, okay, in the game to have a complete collection. I don't have Stegron. I don't have what's the other one I see keep popping up in my series for? Oh, I don't have Mirage. Weird, right? I don't have Black Knight. A couple. I'm missing 7. I know it's 7, okay? But I have all the things I need. I have all the super important cards, right, that I need. So I'm gonna be opening. I have like 6 caches now. I'm gonna be opening for Nico. I'm gonna be opening for Werewolf by Night. That's a definite. I'm gonna not even think twice about that. I think Nico is gonna be a lot of fun. Is she gonna be good where she's like impacting a lot of the decks in Marvel Snap? Like, I don't think so per se. But I think she's gonna be good. So we'll see. She'll be out again. By the time of this recording, she might be out. I don't know when I'm gonna put this video up. Hope it'll be sometime between this time of recording, Monday, and when this card comes out, Tuesday. So it's either tomorrow or today, based on when you watch this video and when it goes out. So I think Nico's gonna be good. I don't think you should open caches for Nico if you're like light on caches and you don't have a lot of the other important cards that you need in the game. But if you do and you just want to have some fun, I think definitely open some caches for Nico. If you don't have Kitty, definitely open caches this week for Kitty and Nico. I'm sorry if you get Phoenix Force. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I'm sorry. But that's it. That's all I got. I think Nico's gonna be good. And this is Gaming with Flash. I appreciate y'all for joining me here again another week. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.